What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. In this video, we're going to be talking about how silver exploded past 8-year highs. We're going to talk about the deal between Ford and Google, the new stimulus plan, and at the end of the video, we have an $8.6 million options trade for this Friday. Make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video. We have a lot of great plays and a lot of news to go over. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, CNBC reports that silver jumps 9% and touches 8-year high as Reddit traders try their squeeze play with the metal, and GameStop shares lose nearly a third of their value on Monday, following a 400% short squeeze, just like we saw last week. And this is the big thing with GameStop, is that they're really starting to fall back down now, and they're down like 30% already today. And overall, they hit 483 the other day, or 513 in pre-market, and today they're all the way down to around 218. They're getting really close to that $200 support. I think that GameStop could start to get pretty dangerous if it starts to go down. And I feel for all the people who are still holding it, but man, it'd be hard to hold it with the way it's starting to go down right now.
For sure. I mean, risk management is so important. If you are holding any stocks, it's always so important to have a plan, where you're gonna take profits, losses, and just have a plan. That's a very important thing. How did AMC do today?
Yeah, AMC actually did almost not nearly as bad, but it actually had some pretty bad movement as well, just because it opened up a little bit higher than GameStop did, but then it actually still came down throughout the day, all the way down to $13. And I know that a lot of people ended up buying it around 15 or 16.
Gotcha. So I was looking at the overall market today, like the SPY, and I'll tell you, we actually had a pretty solid day. Like on Friday, we saw a lot of big put orders for the SPY, a lot of call orders on the VIX, but to see, we had a pretty big green day today. I'm not fully convinced that this short-term downtrend is over, but just looking at the SPY, it had a pretty solid day, and Microsoft is been killing it lately. So Microsoft's looking pretty good, and then a couple other tech stocks too, like even Amazon and Google. But speaking of Google, what's going on with their deal between them and Ford?
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good deal, especially for Ford, I would say, which really skyrocketed in the middle of the day off of this deal. And they signed a 6-year deal in car connectivity and cloud services. And the partnership was announced Monday and is designed to streamline Ford's operations and accelerate an ongoing $11 billion restructuring plan that they already had in place. And it marks a major shift for the automaker, which has spent hundreds of millions of dollars annually in recent years to develop and maintain all these systems. And this is just a really good thing for Ford. You can see how much they shot up in the middle of the day. And if we go to a daily chart, Ford has really been killing it over the past couple of months, even going back to the past year. And they just now passed the 1,000 SMA. They were doing bad. If we go to a max daily chart, you can see that they have been doing pretty bad though over the past 5 to 6 years. But over the past 1 to 2 years, they've actually been recovering pretty nicely from lows around $4 to $5.
Awesome. So do you see any specific levels you like on the chart of Google or Ford, or are you watching anything specific, or are you just looking at this for more of a maybe long-term play?
For Ford, I think it's more of a long-term play. I think that this could end up helping it in the short term a little bit, but you can see how much momentum it actually already had before this deal even came out. And with Google, if we just go to their chart, they're already around all-time highs. So just treat Google as a momentum play and just make them break all-time highs before you play calls or something on them.
Good stuff. So I know Google actually has earnings this week, and we'll talk about the earnings stocks in about a minute, but I want to talk about this new potential stimulus plan. So what's going on there?
Yeah, with the stimulus deal, there's actually a lot of stuff going on. There's actually President Biden wants a $1.9 trillion deal, and Republicans want a $618 billion deal with $1,000 checks per person. So they're pretty far off there.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is a pretty big difference, about 1.9 trillion and then 618 billion. That's a huge difference. So I'm curious to see how this escalates in the future. But what's going on with earnings? I know we had a huge earnings week last week with Facebook, Microsoft, and Apple, but I know we have some big ones this week like Google.
Yeah, tomorrow morning we have Alibaba actually with earnings, then ExxonMobil, UPS, and Pfizer. And then after the close, we have Amazon and Google, which are two very big ones. We're gonna have earnings all week long, and we'll cover them every day. But just keep in mind that tomorrow, the big ones to watch are gonna be Amazon and Google.
For sure. Two huge ones tomorrow, Amazon and Google. But with that being said, let's get right into our Discord member of the day. Today's member of the day is Rez. So this person made a great profit from the free day trades this morning. He made a post in the Discord saying, "Thanks, Mike and Tom. I know it might seem like I took it too early, but stuck to my game plan at 25% profit and had a stop loss." So he bought an NIO put that Tom called out. He bought it for around $169 and sold out for $210. So great job, Tom, with that great call out, and great job, Rez, for having a plan while going into it. I know there's a lot of people in the market right now that don't necessarily have a plan. So great job having a plan and sticking to it. But with that being said, let's get right into our momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have BA to the upside. It was up around 4.5% today. Tom, what levels should we be watching?
Yeah, I really like this above $266, and there is earnings tomorrow, like you said. So keep that in mind whenever you're playing this. You might want to wait maybe 30 minutes or just a few minutes to, obviously after the market opens, and also see what pre-market does. But I really like it above 266, and that's also pretty good support in the long term as well.
Sounds great. With the next one, we have Amazon also to the upside, up about 4.5%. Amazon had a pretty nice green day today, and this is kind of reminding me about like Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft before earnings. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago, they were all running up before earnings. They reported earnings and they fell. So I'm curious if we're going to see similar movement like that with Amazon. We'll see what happens. But what levels should we be watching?
Yeah, like really make Amazon, I think, pass above 33.50, which was the high of today. If they do that, you could get in for a very quick day trade tomorrow. And keep in mind, guys, that these plays are meant to be day trades. You shouldn't really get Amazon and then hold it past tomorrow because of those earnings. It would be extremely, extremely risky.
Big time. And then with the next one, we have FIS again to the upside.
With FIS, just make them pass above 130.26.
Sounds great. Well, let's get right into the $8.6 million trade for this Friday. We are looking at the SPCE 55 straight calls that expire this Friday, February 5th. So SPCE had an amazing day today, almost broke all-time highs, pulled back a little bit towards the end of the day. And I'll tell you, I can kind of see this option going either way. We're actually above the strike price in after hours right now. We're starting to run up in the after hours. So I can really see this either way. I can definitely see them longing it, but at the same time, it could be a covered call where, they're already in like a win-win situation. So I don't know. It has a ton of momentum, and I can see this continuing. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it really could continue. It's really having a lot of trouble getting above $60 a share, but I do like SPCE. It's bouncing off a lot of supports and breaking above technicals very well. It's just a very awesome stock, especially whenever hype's behind it, kind of like it is right now. And it's just a good time to almost play it with the momentum play. Really make it pass above $60. I don't think that I would buy it right now per se. It is pretty high. If we go to a 1 year daily chart, you can see the previous high was around 42. I think that we could actually start to come down with this over the next couple weeks if we don't break above $60 tomorrow.
Sounds great. And another thing to watch out for is the implied volatility is around 180%. So the options are starting to get a little bit expensive. So just be careful with that. But with that being said, let's get right into our comments from the previous episode. With the first comment, we have Vicky saying, "Can you please take a look at Amazon?" And then she also was asking about CRSP, but we'll take a look at Amazon first. So they actually had an amazing day today. They do have earnings tomorrow, so I would not play this, through earnings. Like maybe tomorrow is a day trade if they have a lot of momentum, and then I'd play it after earnings just to ride the momentum. I would definitely not hold this through earnings, though, as that is a complete gamble. But really, right now, I only see it as a momentum trade. Do you see anything else here, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's really in this long-term wedge that I remember me and you talked about a couple weeks or a couple months ago, and it's still within that wedge, and it's really just starting to maybe now break out to the upside, and maybe earnings will finally be the catalyst that makes it break above that. But just keep in mind that I wouldn't be playing Amazon earnings anytime either.
Great point. And then with another one, she was asking about CRSP. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, CRSP is actually looking pretty good. It's bouncing off of this long-term support here around $160, and it looks like it might start to bounce back up. But if not, and it starts to go to the downside, just keep in mind that you're gonna have to have good risk management, and then maybe play the stock to the downside because it looks like it could possibly break that support.
For sure. And with the next question, we have Landon saying, great video. Any thoughts on CLSK? So if we take a look at this one, it looks to be doing pretty good. Looks like it might be bouncing off that 25 support, which can be great. However, if it breaks below that, that can be a pretty big problem. Tom, do you see any levels or any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I actually really like it off of that 25 support, like you said. Hopefully, it can stay above that, but it's honestly maybe looking like it might start to break below that and start to move back down to maybe like the 20 or $18 level. And if it does, man, it might be a good stock to start to grab puts on it if they have well-priced options.
For sure. And with the next one he was asking about, it was CCIV. So I know this one had some news with Lucid Motors, which can be good. It has a lot of hype around it, which is good and bad. You know, it presents a lot of opportunity to the upside. But as always with any play, just make sure you have a plan, whether you plan on getting in or if you're already in. So just always have, a stop loss and, just have a plan before getting in. But Tom, are you looking at any levels on this one?
Yeah, this one actually looks pretty parabolic. I'm really just looking at more of like the $20 support. So hopefully it can hold there. If it's not able to break above like 27.30, like which was the high the other day.
For sure. And with the last question, we have, let's see, with the last question, we have Kay asking about SNDL. So this is actually my free day trade from today, and it has a lot of momentum. It is pretty risky, so I'm not sure if you're asking about it for the long term or not. I definitely wouldn't hold this for the long term, but for the short term, I see a lot of opportunity for just quick day trades. I'm not a huge fan of it because the stock's only like $1.20. So I'm not a huge fan of it. You know, it has some big pops, which can present a lot of opportunity. But besides that, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, I was honestly really surprised to see you call this one out being so low in price, but it did very well today, like you pointed out, and it was just an awesome day trade, especially for free. So definitely check that out in the link down below. But I really like the movement on this, and on the daily chart, it almost looks like it might start to break out, kind of like it did back here in the past.
For sure. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
I'm really going to be watching for the overall market to possibly kind of have another green day and continue on its way back up. Hopefully, we can recover back with the overall market. I'm going to be watching the SPY to possibly recover back, and then stocks like Apple, Facebook, and just the big tech stocks like that, Microsoft even. If those stocks start to recover up, I think the overall market will, and I think that that's really going to show which way the market's going to be going over the next couple days once we can see this confirmation tomorrow.
Sounds great. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Tom and I really appreciate all of your support. Comments and likes really help grow our channel. And we just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who takes, the 10 seconds to leave a comment. It really helps us out and we really appreciate it. Also, thank you to everyone who leaves a like. It really helps us. As always, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to trade the same options as Tom and I every single day, you can click the first link in the description down below. But with that being said, thanks for watching.